As I go through my own journey, through my own life experiences, I realize more and more that there's a balance to everything. Whether we talk about the individual parts of us, like our physical self, our spiritual or higher self, and then our intellectual, like our mind. Each individual part must be balanced, and we must balance it as a whole group as well. And this is so important. And the balance might be different for everybody. Like, you have to find your own balance. Just like you balance your diet, balance your physical exercise. Like, you don't work out 8 hours a day, every day. You would ruin your body. You don't eat junk food all the time, because you would, again, ruin your body. You have to find the balance of eating right, find the balance of to rest, to exercise. The same with your mind. Spend time exercising your mind, to spend time really thinking, to develop your memory, to your intuition, your reasoning factors, your senses, as well as your spiritual self. Get in touch with yourself, your true self. That is part of finding the balance. And once you can find this balance in your life, and when things come your way, with work or with if you own a business, with relationships, find that balance as soon as you can. It might take a couple minutes, days, weeks, years. It takes as long as it takes, but the more and more times you focus on the balance of it all, the more enjoyable life will become. And that's just part of our journey here on Earth, is to grow, to move forward as spirits. Like, we come here to learn and to grow. That is, well, what I say that the purpose could be, I guess it depends on each individual, but for me, to talk about it in a broad sense is to discover, to grow, and to express self. And whatever that means for you, that means for you, because we are individuals. We are also part of the same, don't get me wrong, we all have a part of the same consciousness. There's a oneness of consciousness as well. I'm not saying that we're totally separate from each other, because that's totally not true. But we are individuals on this earth as well, right? So just because something may be imbalanced for someone else in certain ratios doesn't mean that exact same ratio is the best for you. And I also want to talk about what I call the needy feeling. A guy named Dan once told me, needy is creepy. And he didn't really go on to explain about the needy feeling. Just, we were talking about money at the time, and he's a millionaire. He makes millions and millions of dollars a year. Well, actually, he makes like millions a month as well. Anyways, he's quite well off. And he said, when I was a student of his one time, he said, being needy is creepy. Don't be in need of money. It doesn't work. So, about a year later, when I started to get more studying life, what is life, the universal laws that govern the universe, I started getting into all of that in myself. I started to realize what he really meant on a deeper level. And if you go to a lot of the law of attraction forums, in my experience anyways, I've seen a lot of people go struggle with relationships, finding their soulmate, and a lot of people wanting to get their ex back as well. And I'm not saying you're getting your whole ex back is the right or the wrong thing to do. Again, it depends on each person, but it is. It's hard with relationships not to be needy in a sense because you want to be with someone. But being needy is focusing on, it is the realization of the lack of that in your life. And money is another huge one, and I have struggled with this as well, is we do need money in our lives. If you want to become the best you can, being wealthy is part of that. And I'm not saying you need to have millions of dollars in the bank. I mean, look at like Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama. I have no idea what their financial situation. I don't know, that part of their lives. But from what I've heard, they don't necessarily have a lot of money, but they are extremely wealthy. They could go around the world for free. They're so well respected. They have tons of large amounts of influence on others. So they are wealthy, whether if it's $1 in their bank account or $1 billion. They are wealthy. So I'm not really talking about dollars here, but in most people's cases, it is about the dollars. So anyways, we need money to live. That's at this point in our society, we need money to live. So if you don't have a lot, it's easy to get stuck in this needy feeling of being needy, of needing this money. And that, again, you're realizing the lack of it in your life, and the law of attraction comes into play and will bring more of lack into your life. In your mind, you're seeing the lack, you're noticing the lack, you're feeling the lack. So then again, your reality, this physical reality, will show lack. It's just like a mirror. Whatever you think in your mind will show up on the outside, inside, outside. It's one and the same. So this is, especially with people going into business, make sure, because again, I made this mistake. I quit everything, and it can be done, but for me, I had self-image problems. I wasn't as self-confident as I thought I was, but I didn't think I was worthy to be rich. I didn't think I was worthy to be wealthy, to be a business person. I had issues with my self-image. And same with my image of my business as well. I needed a lot of improvements in that area. So when I, quit my job or whatever and started on my own, money didn't come easily to me. It was a struggle, especially when I decided to do a coaching course for $7,000 and get married that same year, which is another $15,000 or whatever it was, all on less than $1,000 a month. From of course, my wife was the main source of income, but I was making nothing. I shouldn't say nothing. I was making very little, not as much as I was expecting. And so that added on to the stress of all things. And when your body's filled with stress, it constricts the flow going through your body. It will constrict money coming to you. And I got into the needy feeling because my basic needs, my rent, the basic expenses, food, I had a hard time meeting, paying those. They were being paid, but it was to the bare bones. And so I got stuck in the needy feeling because I need money, I need money, I need money. And then again, as I said, you're realizing, you're accepting, you're creating that lack in your life. That's what your focus is on. So if you're planning to go into business to yourself, make sure your basic needs are covered. Because it is so much easier to attract abundance of money when your needs are covered, because it releases that tension within your body. There's no, if you know now about just to focus on the abundance of it, to think in your mind that you have unlimited wealth coming to you without any of that need or focusing or accepting or the realization of any type of lack in your life, money will come to you in hordes amounts. I mean, like, it's hard to explain, but make sure your basic needs are covered and you will avoid a lot of problems. I think that is part of the balance as well. To go out on your own, to create your own business, to provide your own service, which is great. It's one of the best. Like, I love it. But there's also a balance when you're about to do that as well. And you have to find that balance for yourself. We need to start living from the inside out. Instead of living by what your environment is, if you live from the outside in, your current results are going to repeat themselves. Because you're going to see your results, you're going to see what the type of environment you're in. If it's no money, relationship problems, all that. If that's what you see, that's what you focus on. That's what your thoughts are going to be about. Is going to be about the lack, about the hardship of it all. That's going to repeat itself. That's going to be your results again. When you start living from the inside out, that means you start with your thoughts. Think of what you want. Think of the abundance of ourselves, and that in turn will create feeling. And feelings is critical. Like, you need to feel like, if you want your life to be easy, if you want just to be stress-free, the ease of it all, the ease of life, you need to feel that now. And that in turn, your action will start acting like that. So as the cycle goes from your thoughts to your feelings to your actions, your results will start to show that. And that is when your life will change. So balance. It all comes down to balance. If you have a balanced life, you will erase all neediness, all lack. There will be abundance in your life. You will be able to manifest anything you want. But it's about finding that balance in yourself. And don't want it all right now. We'll never get everything we want. Because there's always going to be something more that we will want. And that is the beauty of it. We set goals, we reach them, we set bigger goals. That is how we grow. That is why we keep coming back to Earth, is to grow. So we always want something more. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have anything you want. Just believe that you can have it, that you can achieve it. Find the balance and enjoy every moment of your life. So remember, there's a good in everything. You just have to try and see it. Thank you, and go out and achieve your biggest dreams.